magkakaingat-ingatan.
Nako ha, diyan ka na lang.
The film opens with a woman named Carmela. We are introduced to Carmela. She is no longer young and has entered her 50s. At that time she was going to the courthouse, and it was discovered that Carmela wanted to take care of her divorce from her husband. Because of a third person, her husband preferred another woman who was younger and more beautiful than Carmela. Apparently, there was also Carmela's husband, and also the woman who was with her husband. Finally, Carmela and her husband officially divorced, and Carmela was actually very sad. She still wanted to maintain her household, but what could she do? Her husband no longer wanted her. Luckily, she still had a best friend who was always there for her. Her name was Girly. She tried to cheer Carmela up to forget everything that had happened. Carmela also has a child who lives abroad, and is now pursuing her career. However, bad luck seemed to not want to leave her. When she was about to go home, she found her car locked because it was parked carelessly. She even hid because she was embarrassed if her ex-husband saw the incident. Because of that incident, Carmela sat while lamenting her unfortunate fate. But suddenly, she was approached by a woman named Beverly. So Beverly thought that Carmela was the keeper of a drink stall. She wanted to buy it because she had just become an adult and really wanted to buy a drink like that. The plan was for her and her friends to bring the drink to a party on the beach. Because Carmela was upset, Beverly was scolded by Carmela and she said she was not the seller of the drink. Carmela even went to Beverly's friends and wanted to scold them too. But apparently there was a woman there named Cheska, who was none other than Carmela's niece. Carmela knew that at the party they would do things, and Carmela would report this to Cheska's mother. But that wouldn't happen if she was allowed to join. Cheska, who was afraid of being reported to her parents, finally allowed Carmela to join them. That night, they all arrived at the party. But just entering the party, Carmela was really surprised by the shocking things there. Today's youth parties are completely different from the parties where young Carmela used to be. Participants there are free to do whatever they want, including making out in front of many people. Beverly even asked Carmela to go up on stage to give an opening speech. There Carmela was confused about what to do, and she also kept remembering her youth. Seeing Beverly and Cheska acting excessively, Carmela repeatedly reprimanded and scolded them. However, like most young people, they did not care about Carmela's advice. Cheska said, "This is how youth parties are," and it was Carmela's own fault for wanting to join them. In the end, Carmela chose to be alone and grumbled to herself. Carmela didn't realize that there was a young man beside her who saw her from inside the car, even though Carmela was relieving herself there. As a result, Carmela got angry and thought that the young man named Morph was peeping at her. Carmela then ran away from the place because she was embarrassed and annoyed. In the morning, Carmela began to get used to the party, and she began to mingle with the participants there. Carmela even began to dare to drink for the first time. That night, Cheska and her friends also gave Carmela clothes that were more suitable for the party. Not only that, she also began to get close to Morph. He even invited Carmela into his car. But not long after chatting together, Carmela remembered her youth. You could say the incident was exactly the same as now. Carmela used to have a relationship with someone, but after the man got what he wanted, Carmela was left alone. Morp then gave a different view to Carmela. He said that life must continue to move forward. Forget the past to start a new life. Don't get caught up in sweet and bitter memories in the past. Then she will be able to get happiness in the future. Finally, the next day, the party had reached its peak. At that time, Morp also said he loved Carmela.
I love you.
Love you too.
You love me too?
Even though their ages were far apart, they both accepted the situation. Carmela's happiness did not stop there. Not long after her son came there, he said that he was successful in his career and became a leader in his company. Life is like that. Even though there are many problems and trials in our lives, if we face them sincerely and keep moving forward, then happiness will come to us. And finally, the film ends.